Today on the podcast, I'm joined by Becky Hindley, who played Charlotte Hoyle during one of Coronation Street's most unforgettable periods. Charlotte may have only appeared on the show for a relatively brief run, but she made a huge impact, becoming a key part of the John Stape saga and taking centre stage in the 50th anniversary tram crash week. Becky, thanks so much for joining me.
It's my pleasure. Thanks for asking.
So, when you got this job on Coronation Street, were you
Mhm.
told from the start that it was just going to be like an 8 month gig and that you'd be having a bit of a sticky end?
No, no, I
Oh.
certainly wasn't. No. So it started off with just a few episodes to start off with.
Hmm.
And then it built up, and then eventually they gave me, I think I got like a 2 month contract and then like a 6 month contract. But yeah, no, it wasn't definite at all. I think they were waiting to see how the writers felt and how the storyline could go, because it was a bit of a crazy story. It was a fantastic storyline.
It
I
was.
was so lucky. And so, yeah, I think they were checking all that out, and then they decided to really run with it. And boy, did they run with it.
They really, really
Yeah.
did. Was it strange being involved in such a huge event week at the same time as your own climax, kind of your own character's story coming to an end?
It was actually filming the live episode was actually my very, very last day of
Hmm.
filming. So I couldn't have timed it better because we had a brilliant wrap party afterwards. So it was
Did
a
you?
fantastic way to finish. It was all celebrations and it was great. And what an experience to be involved in all of that. And the
Yeah.
50th anniversary and the tram crash. It was just amazing.
For you, did it feel a bit like, oh, but it's my last thing, and everyone else is carrying on, and I'm going.
Yeah, I don't, well, I don't know. I had such a good time and I had such a good character, and I knew it was all getting really crazy. Um, in fact, I got to a point where I didn't quite know where the story was going to go, because it was always a surprise when you got your script. You were never told
Ah, I
what was
see.
going to happen to you. So my character was going slightly off the rails, and I actually asked to go and see the producer, Phil Collinson, it was at the time,
Hmm.
and to see how far I needed to take it, or if I could pull it back a bit because there was more coming.
Right.
And he just went, well, actually, Becky, the next lot of scripts you get hit on the head with a hammer and you die. I was like, bloody brilliant. Okay, right. So yeah, I went for it. And no, I didn't feel sad, because it was such a fantastic way to finish a job on
Hmm.
such an iconic program and the 50th anniversary. I mean, who could have asked for more?
Yeah.
So I was incredibly lucky. And also, I'd like to say I was also incredibly lucky because on the live one, I was already unconscious. That wasn't my demise, the live one. I was actually found alive and slightly breathing, and they put me on an intensive care and a
Yeah.
whatnot, but John Stape, of course, pulled the plug on
Yeah.
the
That was a
contract.
great twist because we all thought that
It
he bumped
was,
you off, and
yeah,
then it's like, oh no,
yeah.
slight pulse.
Yes, exactly. Slight pulse. Oh my God. But because I was unconscious, I actually didn't have any lines to have to learn for
True.
the live one. So that was even better.
Yeah, but it
And
must have
I
been so
spent my
tense. Being a corpse on TV must be difficult at the best of times, but doing it live, like, what if I sneeze or something?
well, yeah, I suppose so. I just had to keep really still and try not to breathe, which I guess wasn't that easy. But I was just pulled around all the ginnels at the
Mm.
back of Coronation Street on the cobbles. And I remember I had a little skateboard that was
I was
attached
going to ask about
to
this.
my back, so that it was, so obviously I didn't get hurt, please, thank you very much, but also it was easy for Graham, the actor, to pull me along the cobbles. So I was on wheels, my wheel had little wheels on my back, and he was pulling me along. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was incredible actually to be part of that. I mean, it was so atmospheric. There was a lot of dry ice. The crew were absolutely incredible,
Mm.
and it was just a very, very exciting time. People were hidden round corners on little walkie talkies going like, go, 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 go. And it was really, really exciting and such a wonderful thing to be part of.
Yeah, I bet. Tell me about the scene where you got clobbered by the hammer? What was it like filming that?
I've got the hammer here.
Ah, brilliant.
I asked to keep it, and I thought, oh, I'll get it out and show you.
That's amazing.
It's not a scene the air of day for a while. But yeah, no, that scene was quite intense. And when I sort of, I think how it went was I lost it and grabbed the hammer and went for John Stape.
Mm.
Missed him, and then he grabbed the hammer, and as I was walking out and smashed me on the back of my head with it. But as I was wheeling this around, the top came off and just went flying. So we all fell about laughing and had to stop and start and do it all over again and get it glued on properly. But
It's a good job that you weren't doing that scene in the live then, isn't it?
no, yeah, very good job. Yeah. But yeah, it was quite intense because it was a huge build up to all of that.
Yeah.
As much as it was also comedy gold, it was pretty dark at times and pretty scary. So
Yeah.
yeah, it was good.
I can't remember. Did viewers at the time know that Charlotte was going to be killed? I knew that we were told that there'd be like 4 deaths, but I can't remember whether we knew who they were going to be.
To my knowledge, no, I don't think so.
Hmm.
I could be wrong.
Yeah. Do you remember what the fans made of Charlotte at the time?
Well, you know what? I had a really lovely response.
Oh, great.
Because I live near, not far from Lancaster. I live up north, and yeah, I got a really positive response. Nothing horrible. Everyone wanted to like shake my hand, say hello. I do remember once I went to with an ex of mine. I went up to Edinburgh Festival on a train from Oxenholme Station up to Edinburgh, and as we were coming back, which was probably about 7 or 8 o'clock in the evening, it was full of Blackburn Wanderers fans. There'd obviously been some big football thing up
Right.
in Edinburgh. So got on the carriage, and everything was fine. And then I was just about to get off, or just actually before that, one guy turned around because we had all these supporters on, and one guy turned around and went, bloody hell, it's that psycho bunny boiler from Coronation Street.
Brilliant.
My ex sort of went like this and sort of hide underneath the seats. And they were all fantastic. They were all like, whoa, hello. And then as I got off at Oxenholme, all I could see were these faces against the window going, bye, Charlotte, bye. So yeah, it was all wonderful. It was, no one was awful. I mean, no one was awful because it was all, I think because it was funny as well. Yeah. It was so well written, it was that old Coronation Street comedy gold, which was just brilliant from the writers.
Yeah, it was like I love the scene when after Colin Fishwick had dropped dead and you had him wrapped up in the carpet and you think you're holding John's hand, but it's actually
that whole thing was so funny. Just going around with the wheelie bin.
Yeah.
Oh god, yeah. But and also David Krellin, who played Fishwick, was great fun as well. I mean, I was just so lucky with working with Graham. He was great fun as well to work with, and also most of my scenes were not on set. They were outside. They were on location, which meant that it was a happy crew as well, because they were getting out of the studio and it was just like, oh, we can all breathe, we can out of the studio. Yeah, this is great.
I can't remember, did you have a school that you were visiting to get to film scenes at?
Yes, actually, yes, there was. I'd forgotten about that. Yes, that's right, there was. Yeah, because initially, a long time before any of this sort of started, I got just like a 1-episode thing as a teacher and a adjudicator in an exam.
Yes, you were in David's GCSEs, weren't you?
That's right, yeah. And then I was called back in to do a party. I think it was when John Stape was leaving teaching or something,
Mm-hmm.
and it was a party, and I was quite a bizarre character. I was dressed in a sari. I was out there having a good time, getting a bit pissed. But prior to that, when I found out I got the part, I used to do a lot of radio work.
Oh yeah.
And I worked with Peter Worley, who's a big writer for Coronation Street.
Mm.
And he'd written the play that I was doing the radio for. And I just happened to mention, I went, oh, I got a job. I got a little job on Coronation Street. He went, oh, right. It's, what was the character called? So I said, Charlotte Hoyle. He went, I said, do a good job, Becky. There might be legs in that. And I said, thanks, Peter. So just a little bit of that was so lovely of him to give me the heads up like that. And you know, I had no idea whether anything would come of it, and I think, you know, it just sort of developed more and more and more as the writers sort of, that's how it works on Coronation Street. The writers sort of see how things go and go for it. So yeah, I was blessed, really.
Going back to the live episode, what do you remember about the rehearsals for it and what that was like getting ready?
Well, like I say, I had an easy gig, so for me it wasn't a problem. It wasn't a problem for anybody, but yeah, there were a lot of rehearsals. It was the technical side of lining everything up and making sure that everyone is comfortable and knows when they have to go, when they have to get ready and go. And it was a huge operation and quite amazing, really. And a hell of a lot of work to work it all out. But yeah, it was exciting.
Yeah. Were there any like contingency plans put in place in case anything did go wrong? 'Cause wasn't there like snow in Manchester in the days before the live?
You know what? I'm really sorry. I can't remember.
No, that's fine. But were there plans in place just in case on the night anything didn't go to plan, as far as you know?
There must have been something that if something doesn't work, then you quickly go over to, I don't know, whatever, team 2 or 3 or whatever.
Yeah. I think in the live episode that they did a few years later, they had Alan Halsall waiting in the back of number 9 just to cut to, just in case anything went wrong, and they didn't use it at the end.
I'm sure there must have been something like that. You have to have a backup, don't you? You have to have a plan B in case things go a bit awry. But no, it all went really, really well. And I know everyone was really chuffed with it, and yeah, it was very exciting.
I think the mark of a good live episode is you can't tell it was live, and you can't with this at all. It's just so spectacular from start to finish, and you'd never know that it was all done,
No,
as we were watching.
I mean, I've not, to be honest, I've not seen it for ages and ages.
Yeah.
So I saw it when it actually came out, and that was it. And that's what, 15 years? Is it really 15 years ago?
15 years, yeah. Because I just watched it last week, no, 2 weeks ago for the first time since then, just to kind of get ready for this, and it was so spectacular. It was like people always come back to it and say, "Oh, that's one of Corrie's greatest moments," and it really, really was.
Yeah, I should watch it again, actually. But yeah, I'm sure, and I'm sure watching it the first time round, yeah, it was amazing, and it was amazing to be involved with it. So
was Coronation Street one of those programs that you'd always wanted to be in?
I don't know. I never really watched it, to be honest. I know I shouldn't say that, maybe, but being truthful, no. But it was because I didn't do much TV. It was actually such a brilliant opportunity for me, and I mainly did theatre and radio. So for this to come along, it was just really special, and the way you sort of learn your lines and how quick everything is, and once it's taken, that's it, you forget it. I was used to living and breathing for like 8 weeks minimum, a whole play. So yeah, it was very, very different, and it was to be part of such an iconic soap like Coronation Street was a real joy. I knew a few people on it, not many. but everyone welcomed you with opened arms, and yeah, it was really lovely. I was a little bit disappointed that I died.
Yeah.
It would have been nice to have come back. I mean, they had my funeral and everything like that, but yeah, I could I would have been very happy for it to go on for another couple of years. But
Do you think that if Charlotte had been able to persuade John to leave Fizz, that they could have led a relatively normal life, or was she just a little bit too
no,
psycho?
no way could they lead a normal life. It was doomed. She
Yeah,
was a nutter.
she was. She really, really was. Are there any other particularly memorable Charlotte moments that stand out to you?
Well, you mentioned the rolling David Krellin up in the carpet in the
Yeah.
rug. That was pretty memorable. And then obviously the live one was pretty memorable. There was one moment that was memorable, which wasn't actually, I'd actually died. So they just in the scripts they put that in the Charlotte's funeral they had like a backing music at the back, and
Yeah.
it was Charlotte herself singing.
Oh, I
Singing.
don't remember this.
Okay, so maybe they got it. I don't know. No, they didn't. No.
Is it 15 years is a long time ago, Becky.
Yeah,
I'll have to
the
watch it now to
song
track
was,
it down.
yeah. So how the story went was that for a gift she was given to go into a recording studio and record this song, which was "The Wind Beneath My Wings."
Right.
So they told me this and had to pull me back in to sort of record it, and I was like, I can't sing. And they were like, we don't believe you, or oh yeah, come on. Every actor goes, oh, I can't sing, and then they're pretty good or they're okay. I seriously cannot sing. I've been dubbed on radio before now, so I cannot sing. So they soon realised this, and they got a fantastic voice coach called Andrea Heaton, I think she was called. She was absolutely amazing, and she came with me to the studio because I was petrified. It was the most horrendous thing to do to me, and it was the director Duncan Foster who was directing it, and he directed quite a bit of the stuff that I was in, so I knew him. And I was in a little recording studio, and I started to sing, and in the recording studio you've got a bit of glass and you can see the people on the other side of the glass and the technical bit, and there was Duncan, and I suddenly saw him slowly slip underneath the whole thing, so I couldn't see him. And then I saw, which was even worse, his studio door opened, no hands, the door just opened, and he obviously crawled out on his hands and knees and was just laughing so much because it was so bad. I don't know how they made it sound okay, but I knew it was bad, and I tried my best. So yeah, I won't forget that. That was memorable. I'm trying to think of moments when we were on set. I do remember the moment when Fizz came in, I think it was to my house, and threatened me and was just like really like, whoa, in on me. That was quite intense. And then also another time when, I mean, God, there were so many, when I like cooked a meal and he had to meet my parents. Oh my God. I mean, it was just mad. It was brilliant. It was brilliant.
Yeah. Who would you say you were closest to on the cast?
Graham Hawley, because I mean, I didn't actually work with many of the cast because, like I say, we were always on location, so I was never really on the cobbles. I must admit, one of my great moments was actually being in the Rover's Return. That gave me such a buzz to actually be in there. So that was lovely. But yeah, Graham really.
Did you have scenes with? You must have done with Peter Gunn, Brian. Who was his?
I know Peter Gunn because I
Yeah.
did loads of radio with Peter. Peter's a friend of mine, but no, I don't remember.
Because he was a teacher as well. Maybe your paths didn't
Yeah,
cross. I don't remember.
no. I think Peter arrived just after I left.
Oh, okay.
I think because that would, to me, that to have my mate there, Peter, would have been absolutely brilliant. That would have been very funny. He might have been there. We might have just overlapped actually.
I
But
can't
no, I
remember.
didn't have any scenes with him. No,
Ah, okay.
no. All my scenes were really with Graham and
Mm.
Fizz
Yeah, Jenny
and
McAlpine's lovely, isn't
Sophie.
she?
Yeah, she was great. Yeah, absolutely brilliant support, and just she was brilliant. They
Yeah,
were all really lovely with me.
yeah.
Absolutely brilliant. Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about how you got into acting.
Oh gosh. It was something that I always really wanted to do. I was really lucky that mum and dad used to take me to the Royal Exchange, to the theatre, and I always had that sort of feeling of like I want to leap on stage, whatever. And then I did little kids stuff and enjoyed all of that. And then I went to a school that was quite academic, which obviously I didn't do very well at all. Completely messed up my O levels as they were at the time. And I remember going for a walk with dad, and dad said, right, okay, you've not done too well, but don't worry about it. What would you really like to do? He was
Mm.
thinking, can't do anything. And I just went, well, actually, dad, I'd really like to act. And he just went, okay, we'll see what we can do, and we'll support you as much as we can and help you through that. And I'm so lucky that my parents were so incredibly supportive, my whole family, my sister as well, just really, really supportive. And I applied for drama schools. I didn't get in first time round when I was about 17, 18. So I went to Polytechnic first and did a course called Creative Arts at Trent Polytechnic, which is in Nottingham. And that was actually a really good grounding, that course, because we wrote our own stuff, we did our own props, we did our own set, own sound. So I got to know understand the whole thing about theatre and acting and everything else that goes with it. And then after that, I tried for drama school again, and I got
Mhm.
in, and I went to East 15 acting school. And then after the first year, my dad was made redundant, so I applied for a scholarship, and I got a scholarship and got through the last 2 years. And then and then managed to get my equity card before I left, because at
Mhm.
that time it's all different now. It's all changed, hasn't it? I think I feel very old. So yeah, I managed to get my equity card. Did a little cabaret show
Oh,
with a friend of mine. So we did like working men's clubs, and I lived in London at the time, so we did that, and we did a few little venues.
with
And
singing or without singing in the cabaret show?
without singing, of course, it was a little show. So it was a little show, and we called ourselves the Gruesome Twosome. It was me and my best mate Claire. We called ourselves the Gruesome Twosome, and we wrote a little play about us going to Torremolinos on our holidays.
Right.
And that's what it was, a little comedy sort of cabaret time, no singing, sort of cabaret type show. And yeah, we toured that round, and we got our contracts, and we got our equity card before we left drama school. And then, then I went off and started to get work, and
Mm.
got a really nice job working for the radio drama company, which I loved. It was absolutely fantastic. Did some work with Alan Ayckbourn at Scarborough, and then Northern Broadsides, and yeah, did lots of touring.
Any
So it was
particular
good.
roles on TV or stage that you're especially proud of?
Um, we did my first thing with Northern Broadsides was it was called Lisa's Sex Strike, and it was a rewrite of the Greek. Is it a Greek? I don't know whether it's a tragedy. It wasn't, because it was a comedy, Greek comedy, Lysistrata, where all the women go on strike,
Right.
as in sex wise, because they're pissed off with all the men, basically. And that was such fun. And I played Lisa. I was very lucky to have a lead role in that, and that was great fun. I also did some lovely stuff with Alan Ayckbourn. I did something called Improbable Fiction, where I played, gosh, what was she called? Jess Bales, I think she was called. Um, a really grouchy woman with fantastic one-liners that just cut through everything. And I did a West End show with Alan as well.
Oh, okay.
What was that? Oh gosh, Comic Potential with Janie D in it,
Hmm.
and David Soul. So yeah, so that was lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I've
you
been lucky. I did some really nice stuff.
and you've had a bit of a career change now, haven't you? So how did you go from
Yeah,
acting into what you're doing now at Urda Botanicals?
I know. So yeah, soon not probably about 10 years ago now, 10 years ago. I just sort of decided to have a little change. I
Mm.
always enjoyed gardening, and often in between acting jobs, I worked in florist shops. Um, so I looked on Google to see what I not what I could do, but what I could do within sort of I didn't want to have a shop.
Mm.
And I found something called Flowers from the Farm, which is a fantastic movement that's now grown. It's a huge thing now in the UK. And it's basically people growing their own flowers, seasonal British, championing seasonal British flowers. So I thought, well, that's interesting. Maybe I'll try and grow flowers. So I tried to grow flowers, and I could grow a few flowers, not on a big scale, on a very small scale. And I set up my business, and I used to do weddings and events and stuff like that. And now I don't do any of that at all.
Mhm.
So now what I do is I love going for walks, and I love finding things that I'm attracted to, and then I make things out of those. So I do workshops with that, and I do workshops because my garden's a cutting garden, and I grow my own flowers, and people can come and join me for a cup of tea and a piece of cake, and we have a chat, and they can pick flowers, and then they can go home, and it's a very nice experience. And then then this year what I did, because I turned 60 this year, so I thought, right, I will mark it. So I hired a camper van, and I took one of my workshops, which was the walking workshop, and gathering things and then making whatever you've gathered, make
Mm.
something out of it that reflects how you felt about what you saw. It's trying to make people see nature.
Yeah.
So I toured around the UK with me and my dog, who's down there, and a camper van, and we had a fantastic time. It
That's
was
brilliant.
brilliant.
What an experience. Yeah.
It was a great experience. Met some fabulous people, went to some brilliant places, went from sort of Suffolk up to Inverness. So yeah, so it was quite an extensive tour, but a lot of fun.
Oh,
Yeah,
brilliant. Well, I wish you all the best of luck with that. And thank you so
thank
much for
you.
coming on the podcast today. It was lovely
My
being able to
pleasure.
reminisce about Charlotte a little bit.
I
And
know, I've not done that for ages. It's so
no,
nice. Thank you.
15 years on after the tram crash, I thought it would be nice to, yeah, to go have a walk down memory lane.
Yeah, really lovely. Thanks for getting in touch.
No worries. Thank you. Well, I'll let you go and have a lovely rest of your evening. Bye bye.
Okay, you too. Thanks,
See ya.
Michael. Bye bye.